Hi all, welcome back to more Labyrinth, playing the extended campaign. So this is part 16. Yeah, 16. Just came straight back there, so I've not copied that other part. But yeah, so I might leave a comment in the header of that last one. Not enough of what got done, just talking about things. Yeah, I like to work all these things out, get them all sorted, and you know. But a lot of these games have these issues, everything's not resolved and it's not all smooth, and a lot of people just get on with that. They're playing their game solo, so what does it matter? I'm just more of a stickler for wanting to have things right. Okay, no more talk about anything. Let's just play the game. For now, I hope to get a part in here. Although it might be tight. So we played the first card of the Jadis turn, Jadis phase here. Which was an event, place to sell in Israel. We did that. So this is the second card we're drawing. So sanctions, it's not a playable event because it's US, right? I left in the middle of video 15, deciding we were going to port. It looked like we were going to port in Iran. But let's take on board this, what Tim has spoke about, and trying to use this radicalization, right? So what we're going to do here is one ops unplayable event, right? So is it a playable non-US event? No. Is there a major jihad success at poor possible? No. The only country. Oh, wait a minute. I remember missing a country here. I think this is wrong. I want to say this should be 8 and maybe that should be 2. It's not a biggie right now. I mean, remember, it's more about resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is indeed 8 poor countries. I was watching back and I noticed I didn't adjust it. You got to adjust it right away or you're going to forget. And I want to say it's probably 2. Oh, actually. Good. 1, 2. See, we've only got 2 good countries. Islamist rule as well, Grant. So hang on, that's 9 then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Because remember, that counts as well. But having there is a win condition there. Poor and Islamist countries, if they get to 15 and our prestige is at 1, they would win. That's an all win. Right? And for us, the only countries won is that, which we would need fair and good countries at 15 to win. I think these are all condition wins. And Tim has said that it was clarified that they still count. The only one that doesn't count is the removing all the cells. Right, and fair good countries are 1, 2. Yeah, so that should be back there. The resources are still both at 3. Because that's because we've got 2 for Pakistan and 1 for Afghanistan, and they've got 3 for the Gulf states. And this probably wouldn't have all happened if I'd worked this out sooner. And however, it looks bad for me, so I don't mind when it. If it was looking rosy for me, and I feel in Pakistan was full of cells or something like that. I mean, I was avoiding doing it, but I think Tim's right. I should have been doing it in the way he's talking about, doing the radicalization. So, okay, back to the flowchart. So, major jihad success at poor possible. No, this is only poor country that's got a cell, and it's 1 cell against 6. I want to say, are we happy with it? I was going to be moving this back, but I think we're good with that. If we're following this first, we would have got to non-Muslim, and that's Iran. And I'm talking about the whole choice between Iraq and Iran. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Right, so there's not a major jihad possible. Is funding tight? No, it's moderate. But I don't think we're going to get there. So is there a cell in good or fair Muslim where jihad success possible? Well, this is where we're going to say yes. I mean, the answer to the question is yes, unless you consider JSP to mean just jihad success possible. Which, don't get me wrong, it starts off, the description of it starts off, jihad success possible. This is true, but you've got to read the rest of it. This is true of the current awakening reaction markers. So it's not true. It's not true. So we're just going to ignore the where GSP bit and just say, is there a sale in good or fair Muslim? There is. This is not Muslim, remember. There's sales in this good Muslim country. Right? Okay, so that's a yes. Now, we know we can't do a jihad because Benazir Bhutto's in play. So that's a yes, we come to here. Now, I've always just ignored that. We come to here, we cannot do a minor jihad. So we've got one unused ops value. We're going to come and do radicalization with that 1 point. We also have 1 point in reserves, so they can do this with 2 points. And I think it'll stipulate this. And I want to bring up in the rule book actually a radicalization. My concern here is how this. Let's go through it and see if it becomes complicated. So radicalization, if the jihadist bot performs no operation, see, that's what it's saying. It's getting to an operation and it can't carry it out. You know, what I was saying and what others are saying is you just skip on, follow the flow chart, keep following the flow chart. That's just, it's not resolving our problem. So let's do it this way. So if the jihadist bot performs no operation or an operation using fewer ops than the card's op value, perform radicalization operations as follows with any remaining ops, using reserves if possible until a total of 3 cells/roles have been used with the card, right? Never use only reserves for any radicalization operation. So we're going to have 1 from the op and 1 from the reserves. So we're going to have 2. Note, a cell on the map, not the track, is eligible to perform a radicalizing operation only if it has not already performed an operation on the current card. Likewise, a cell may only participate in 1 radicalization operation. So first, if any cells are in the US and 1 or more WMD plots are available, plot in the US with as many cells as possible. There's no cells in the US. There is a cadre in the US, but that's not a cell. If US posture is hard, it is, and there is no global war on terror relations penalty, there is not, travel to as many unmarked non-Muslim countries as possible, 1 cell each. Choosing the origin first using the travel from priorities of the op-P. Travel from priorities of the op-P. So that is the flow chart. And then we would move on to the next step. But however, that's the one we can do. And this is nasty. This is probably going to give us a global war on terror relations penalty. So if it's hard, right, travel to as many unmarked non-Muslim countries. So again, we'll just come across to this and hope that it should keep us right. If US hard, no global, travel to unmarked non-Muslim, choose as many destinations as possible. In the rules it does stipulate that you pick the origin first, which is different from when you're doing the travel, isn't it? So we're picking from first. So we've got 2 ops points, so we can travel 2 cells. So where are they travelling from? Adjacent. Okay. Right, is there any cells that are adjacent to non-Muslim countries? Actually, there is. So, there's the cells, you can see them. Well, in fact, Pakistan is adjacent to India. It's also adjacent to Indonesia. This is a Muslim country though, so India is not. So Pakistan is adjacent to India. Iran is adjacent to the Caucasus. And I think that's it. Israel's not. Israel's just adjacent to Muslim countries. Okay. So we've got a travel from either Iran or Pakistan. Yeah? Okay. And basically, because this is adjacent, it'd be automatic. Right? So we've got adjacent. So we'll look at the travel from, though. So we get not destination. And I think that just means that yeah, within its country. So I'd rather not do it in its country, but you can see it's got active cells there that could travel and become sweepers. You know, if it came to it, if we went right through these priorities and there was no other priority, then I think Pakistan would travel to its own country. But then that's not what it's trying to. It's trying to achieve testing these countries and trying to get some countries soft so that we end up in a penalty with the global war on terror. Okay, so not destination. Islamist rule. Travel from Islamist rule. Well, Gulf states is Islamist rule, but remember we're only considered at the moment with Iran and Pakistan because these have adjacent non-Muslim countries. So the Gulf states would be the priority here if it had a non-Muslim country adjacent. Well, hang on. Iran is adjacent, but what is it asking? No, it's one to travel to as many unmarked non-Muslim countries. Now, India is unmarked and Caucasus is unmarked. Iran is different, isn't it? I mean, I don't think that comes into it. It's not unmarked anyway. It doesn't get any posture, so yeah, okay, we're going to skip that. So then poor, then fair, then good. Well, this is fair and this is good. So we're going to want to move the cell from Iran to the Caucasus. So I think, I mean, travel to as many unmarked non-Muslim countries as possible, one cell each. This is what slightly concerns me here, is we've only got one cell, we've got 2 ops points, and by the way, I'm going to use that reserve now, so we're using the 2 points. This is going to automatically travel to the Caucasus, and then we're going to test the Caucasus. Right, that's used up 1 point. My sort of worry is, did they both have to come from Iran? If that's the case, then I've got 1 ops left, and I can't travel anymore from Iran. But what I want to do is sort of say, well, we've still got Pakistan that can travel to India. That's what I'm going to do, but please tell me if I've got that wrong and I should be moving on to the next radicalization step. It does say, where are we? What's the bit I was just reading there? Yeah, it says travel to as many unmarked non-Muslim countries as possible, 1 cell each, choosing the origin first using the travel from priorities of the OP. Right, well, I'm going to do this because I'm not getting hung up with this again, and it feels like the playthrough is a bit messed up already because of everything, but I just want to carry on playing. You know, I like I said, I got up this morning sort of in the back of my mind thinking, should I restart this game? But I still think I'm going to get stuck up with some of these things in the game anyway, so. But by all means, highlight anything that I'm getting wrong, or you believe I'm getting wrong, so that I can consider it and adjust it and at least take note of it. So that's going to be the first one. So let's just do the second one. The second one is going to be a travel from Pakistan, isn't it? I mean, we could go right through the travel from, but there's only one left that's adjacent, so we don't actually need to go with this. We've got to adjacent. There's only one adjacent. It's Pakistan. We're going to travel one of these active cells into India. Yeah, so we're going to test Caucasus posture and India's posture. Now the posture check is it's 1 to 4, it's soft. 5 to 6, it's hard. If it was the US, you get a +1, but it's not. So it's set or reset a non-Muslim country's posture. Yeah, and yeah, we're getting asked to do it with the moving of the cell does it. The travel to then is unmarked. We do it right. Let's do Caucasus first. So we really want to roll high here. We really want a 5 or a 6, don't we? I suppose it's them that's doing it. We should use one of their black dice. Doesn't really matter, but... where am I? So 1 to 4 is soft, 5 to 6 is hard. And this is the Caucasus. Right, so that's soft. And then let's just do the India. So again, 1 to 4 is soft. Right, we get 1 soft, 1 hard. So that's going to keep it sweet. Which was fortunate. And clearly I would have liked seen 2 of them going hard, but however, we get away with it. So, so the one in the Caucasus goes soft. Now, that would nudge that down to there. Now giving us a -1 penalty. However, we tested India as well. It became hard. So that bounces back up into there at 0, whether it's on hard or soft. Doesn't matter, as long as if it's on 0, doesn't matter if you're soft or hard, we're in the right place. It's 0. Okay, that's it. But please tell me if I should only consider the travel from Iran and I shouldn't have done the other point of travel from Pakistan. It feels to me like that's a good thing that it's done and would be fine, but let me know, please, if you think that's wrong. Okay. Right, let's move on a little bit. What time is that? Okay, yeah, I can go a little bit more. Hopefully I can get this part. Right, so there were 2 cards that were played. One was played for... actually, that was played for event, so that's removed. And then this one was just getting discarded. So they've got 1 card left, actually. We've got 3. Yeah, and here's a thing when I was watching back. Place a cell in each in Pakistan and India. It's blocked by Indo-Pakistani talks. So I said, this is a playable card. However, place a cell in each. There's no cells on the track. This is a perfect time to use that card. It becomes unplayable. I mean, it'll trigger being playable. Well, it's not playable. There's no cells. So if I do anything, I should do it now while there's no cells on the track. So we've also got Tora Bora, which is play of at least 2 cells in a regime change country, remove the 2 cells, roll prestige, draw a card. I mean, we can do that, and we could do it in Iraq. There's only... Oh no, it doesn't need to be 2 cells. Yeah, it needs to be 2 cells. Play at least 2 cells in a regime change country. So I might have missed my opportunity with that one. Well, that's actually unplayable then now. Okay, well, we could still use it for the 2 ops. And then the last card we've got, all these are 2 op cards, by the way. Last one is set Turkey to fair ally, which is quite good. Turkey's not been tested yet, is it? Where's Turkey? Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, it's not been tested yet. Well, having it fair ally is good. Obviously, if it had been tested already and it was poor, that would be even better, because it just says set Turkey to fair ally. So I might try and hold off on that just in case their last card, maybe for some reason, does something with Turkey and tests it. I don't know though. I've got that Tora Bora. Right, I think I was accepting the fact that we're not going to what is it? Regime change in the Gulf states. Mind you, why not? Why not? We put cells back to the track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to leave us down in, what is it, overstretch? But right, no, hang on. Yeah, because this is something I was concerned about. I thought if that cell's going back in Iraq, it's not, but if it was going back there, because we done a war of ideas in Iraq, and we would not have been able to if there was 2 cells there. Because remember, you got to have 5 more troops and cells. Sorry, if it's regime change. So we could do a war of ideas in Iraq, but we would need to use 2 cards for that. I don't know. What else would be good? I mean, we have got cells spreading out now, one in India and one in the Caucasus. I think we should be still concentrating on this area. Afghanistan's got a cadre, the US has got a cadre. You know, should we be disrupting them away? I think while this is like this, it's not a serious concern, but because then if a card came up saying place a cell in the United States, it doesn't matter if there's a cadre there or not, it's going to place a cell. And same with Afghanistan. Placing a cell is different from recruiting. If it says recruit in the US, I think it would have to say more than just that. Suppose it's possible. Or if there's there's not a cell. If there's a cadre in the US, maybe there's events that say that. If there's a cadre, do this. I don't know. It's possible. So what other options do you have then, Grant? I think I might just actually go for the War of Ideas in Iraq. I've got 3 cards left. They're all 2s, so I could play my 2 cards this turn and hopefully get it to fair. To fair. Then I would have 1 card with 2 ops last chance to then get Iraq to good. What we've got to seriously worry about is, remember what I said, they've got 3 Islamist resources and they only need 6 to win the game. So we've really got to keep our eye out for that. Fortunately, Pakistan is only 2 resources if they happen to be going for that. But you can see Iraq, the ones that are 3, I mean, we've got Saudi Arabia, but there's nothing in it. The ones that are 3 are the ones to really panic about if they started showing like they might be going that way. I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to roll prestige yet. Well, if you're doing the what is it? If you do a regime change, you do have to do the what is that thing there? Roll prestige. Right, okay. I'm just going to go for Iraq. Right, I'm going to play this card for the 2 ops. Now, it would trigger if we could place a cell each in Pakistan and India. Right, there's no cells on the track, so it doesn't trigger. And I'm playing that card to put 2 ops in the reserves. Then my second card play, I'm going to play this for the ops. I think I say it. Looks pretty decent, but I mean, it's remove 2 cells. And you draw a card. I mean, the other thing is, I could do regime change Gulf states. That would mean that you would be rolling prestige twice though, Grant. And then remove 2 cells, then roll prestige again after rolling for the regime change. That's a bit risky, isn't it? I think I'm just going to stick. Just the extra draw a card's quite nice, and removing 2 cells doesn't do any harm. No, okay, I'm going to stick with what I was doing. So I'm just going to add the 2 ops for that. So no events played. And I'm going to do a War of Ideas in Iraq with the 2 ops and the reserves. So War of Ideas in Iraq. Remember, if it's regime change, let's see, have this one. If it's regime change, I need to have 5 more troops than cells. I've got 6 troops to their 1 cell, so I have that, and we're going to It's a neutral ally Muslim country. It's an ally Muslim country. And then we're going to shift allies' governance by 1 level if we succeed. Okay, so yeah, another thing, while we've got the modifiers, we should do it. Attempt and shift to good. No. There's no penalty in global war and terror. We managed to avoid that. US prestige is at very high, so it's a +2 there. There's an aid marker, so that's +3. Adjacent good ally, there is not. So it's a +3 to this die roll, and we need a 5. So again, we only need a 2 here. A 1's the only one thing that we don't want to see. Right, let's go for it. Oof, just get away with it again. So it's a 2. We succeed, that's a 5. So we convert Iraq. We improve Iraq's governance from poor ally to fair ally. Anbar, yeah, remember, we can only disrupt 1 cell. Can't remove cadres. Right, that's fine. Right, so we went from poor to fair there. So 1 drop in poor, 1 increase in fair. And that's that. So we've got 1 card left. This, like I say, I could use that to try and get that to good on my last card. These 2 cards get discarded. Let's just push on and finish the turn then, hopefully. So their last card is, I think that's a bad card. Martyrdom Operation, 3 ops. Skillful suicide attack. Play if a non-Islamic rule country has a cell. Yeah. Replace the cell with any 2 available plot markers. Oh, no. Okay. Right. This could be bad. So hang on, we're going to play this event, aren't we? Well, let's have a little look at the nasty thing that's got to say about this card. 87. Actually, there's more than 1 of them, isn't there? You can see 87 to... There's obviously 3 cards like this. So, Martyrdom Operation. Unlike the Japanese kamikaze of World War II, jihadist suicide bombers are motivated by their belief not only that it is their duty to die, but also that self-inflicted death will grant them paradise after life. Islam forbids suicide but makes an exception on the battlefield, and those fighting against US or Israeli occupation or for the global jihad have taken that exception to an extreme. The result is a force of operatives who are tremendously difficult to deter or stop, and the supply of young men and women willing to take their own lives in God's cause, be it to kill just a few civilians or thousands in the act, appears endless. Yes. Okay. Martyrdom Operation. Play if a non-Islamic rule country has a cell. Replace the cell with any 2 available plot markers. Right. Well, we've got... Right, the only country that doesn't apply that's got cells here is Gulf states, because it's the Islamist rule. So we can pick between Israel, Caucasus, Iraq, Pakistan, India. So, right. So replace the cell with any 2 available plot markers. So when we look at the rule for that, again it's 12.32. What is it? What it says, when an event instructs to recruit, place or replace cells, the jihadist bot uses the recruit and travel to priorities of the op priorities flowchart to select the country. Okay, I think we're all switched on to this now. We're all got it good. So we start here to try and find the country that we're going to remove a cell and place 2 plots. So do we have a poor Muslim country with 1 to 4 more cells than troops? No. No, we don't. It's a Muslim country, isn't it? Yeah. So, a poor Muslim country. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, that's a no. No. Okay, so, if recruit or recruit. Well, this is not a recruit operation. And I know what Tim's saying. If we were placing a cell right now, would we be looking at this box? I'm replacing a sale right now, which is even trickier to get through, but it's not really a recruit, is it? If it said if plot here, then you could maybe consider this. But I'm not actually doing a plot either. I'm replacing a cell with a plot marker. So I definitely don't think this applies to us here. So do we have a good Muslim country? Yes, Pakistan. Pakistan is a good Muslim country with cells. Okay. Now, is there any to stop us? Well, first of all, is there any to stop us from putting plots into Pakistan? No. Fatah says no disrupt. Benazir Bhutto says no jihad. So there's nothing to stop that. Now, is this a good idea for the bot? Is this a problem because Benazir Bhutto's in play there? Because it's what we've had difficulty. And I think not this time. I think if it was travelling cells there or trying to recruit cells, I would sort of say yes, but it's not. It's plotting in there. Right, so what we need to... Well, you know what? It doesn't really matter. There's nothing we're going to be able to do with these two plot markers. Because this is the last card there, and we've only got one card left. And to remove a plot marker, you need 3 ops. And I've no reserves. And that's the last card I've got. So I cannot deal with these plots anyway. So there's no point in me looking up to see what's going to happen. And remember, these plots go off. We are at the moment at Jihadist card 1. And they've only got 1 card. Once we've done that, we move on to US action card 1. I've only got 1 card, and then we resolve plots. So it happens at the end of the phase, not the turn. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, I mean it says there, and then you go back to the... Why am I having issues with that? I'm having issues with that. I think I'm just wanting to see it. Sequence of play. Sequence of play. Action phases. Jihadist side plays 2 cards. US side plays 2 cards. Why does it not tell you about the plot thing? At the end of each US action phase, not turn, at the end of each US action phase, whether or not the US played any cards, resolve all plots in any countries. That's from the main rules, right? Okay. So yeah, so there's no point in looking up what's going to happen with plots now. So we know they're going to plot, they're going to remove a cell, and they're going to remove that active cell, because that's what they would choose first, and it's clearly what you would do yourself and whatever. It tells you in the rules that, though. It tells you if you're going to remove a cell, remove an active one first. So it's removing a cell and replacing the cell with any 2 available plot markers. So now we've got these 6 plot markers here. We don't have WMDs in play yet, so that's good. So I'm going to randomly select... Well, hang on. When we place a cell, it's not like plot, so... Maybe just randomise between the 6 grand, don't we? Placing plots. Placing cells. Yeah, but we've worked out the country, we've done that. You know what, I'm not gonna look anymore. It's we're placing 2 cells. So if we were plotting made... Well, the thing is, if you're playing this as a jihadist player, you get to place these. Now, I want to say they've got numbers on the back, 1, 2, or maybe 3. And either the higher number or the lower number is worse for us. We're going to find out shortly. So, right, hang on. Yeah, sorry, it's 12.34 there. I suppose we haven't done it, so 12.34, placing pots. All available pot markers remain face down. This is obviously for the bot, and then these are the new bot rules as well, and are selected randomly when placed by a pot operation or by an event. This is by an event, right? Unless the event specifies a pot value. So it doesn't specify a value. It just says place 2 pots. So we're going to randomly select them. The jihadist bot selects the country using the pot column of the priorities table on the events or operations player aid chart. Well, hang on. The jihadist bot selects the country using the pot column. See, the thing is, the wording on this card is replace the cell with any 2 available pot markers. And replace the cell wants to use this. Now, so that's slightly... I think we go with the wording on the card is replace the cell. I think I've got that right. If it just said place a pot here, then we wouldn't be following that. We would be looking at this, I think. So, because that's what it said in the rule there, didn't it? It said the jihadist bot selects a country using the pot column of the priorities table on the events or operations. In fact, it is saying priorities table there, so it would use this, I think. I don't think it would even go here. Okay. But I still feel that the wording on our event says replace the cell, and that means that we look where we looked. So I'm going to go with that. Again, tell me if you feel I've got it wrong. And then it talks about if there's no pot markers available, blah, blah, blah. But there is. Right, so we're going to randomly select 2 of the pots. I've got them set out 1 to 3. So, right, first one is going to be number 1. So I'm going to take that one. And then I'm just going to 1 to 5 that. And if I get a 6, I'll re-roll. That's a 2. So 1, 2. So we're going to take both these plots face down and put them in Pakistan. Okay. Right, I think that's it. That is Martyrdom Operation. Replace the cell with any 2, and I took the cell away, put it back in the track, with any 2 available pot markers. That's that. That's done. The card's not removed, just discarded, so it goes in there. Right, so, and like I say, I've only got 1 card left, and I can't do anything to stop these plots. There's 2 of them. I want to say we're just going to have to suffer the consequences. We're that good, which sounds like it might be bad. So I can either set Turkey to fair ally, or I could try another war of ideas in Iraq. I mean, I suppose there's other things I could do, but I think I'm going to go for the war of ideas in Iraq. Because while we've still got our prestige very high. Okay, so I'm going to play this for the ops of 2. That's fair now, Iraq. So, again, the modifiers are the same. The aid marker's still there. And our prestige is very high. So it's... Oh, no. It's +3. However, we're getting a -1 this time. Because, remember, we are attempting to shift to good. So it's a +2. And this is to shift to good. Okay? +2 with this. We need a 5 or a 6. Oh, no. So we fail. Damn. So if we fail, I don't think anything happens. We've already got an aid marker, so... Well, actually, that was a 1, +2 is a 3, so it wasn't even a 4 to add the aid marker anyway. But there's an aid marker there, so it's just a fail. Yeah, just nothing else happens. That's it. So that was a bit of a disappointing finish. That card was played for the ops. It's just discarded. That is it. 40 minutes. I am running short of time. Yeah, I can still push it though, but I'm gonna have to start moving. Okay, let's finish the turn. Well, with that, like I say, was our last card play. So now we would go to resolve plots here. Okay. So we've not done this before. There's two of them. Unblock plots. So hopefully we can just get away with this. Purpose: resolve all plots that remain in any countries. At the end of each US action phase, Jadis reveals and resolves each plot as follows. In the United States, it's not. In a Muslim country or Iran, so that's what it is, Pakistan. So we're going to reveal both of these. +1 funding or +2 funding of country at good. Oh dear, dear, dear. This is horrible, isn't it? If country has troops, -1 in the prestige. Or proceeds to 1 if it's a WMD. If Muslim, not Iran, roll a number of dice equal to the plot's number. 3 dice of WMD. Each roll equal to or less than the country's governance value worsens governance 1 level towards poor, not to Islamist rule, and removes 1 aid. Oh my, that's horrible. Right. Okay, so we're going to reveal them. Right, hang on. Do we do each one of these at a time though? Because that could matter. Because the first one could be revealed, and then we could roll the dice, and the governance could go to fair, and then the second one is then not going to be at good, obviously. So I'm not sure. 8.5.6. Yeah, that's the old rule book, but that's fine. It's not the solo side of things. Is there any difference to the solo side? I don't think so. Well, would it not be? Is there anything on this play aid? No, that's just all new stuff, isn't it? Don't think so. I don't think I've came across anything, but with no, I'm not seeing anything that changes up the way plots are resolved. I don't think there was in the old rules either regarding the bot. So I think we just follow what we just read there. Waste plots, yeah. Again, let me know if I'm missing something. Right, yeah. So we're just going to follow what that said. Yeah, I just want to know if we do them individually though. That's what I want to know. That's 8.5.6. Yeah, I started looking for that, and then 8.5.6. Unblock plots. At the end of each US, must reveal and resolve any plot markers that remain in any countries. He chooses the order. Resolution is as follows. Return the plot marker to available plots box, or remove it from the game if WMD. Right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm running really short of time, and I feel like I'm going to rush this and maybe make a mistake. I'm going to leave us at that position and just double check. I might look up. I'm still not 100% sure if I resolve one plot completely and then the next one. Before we... Yeah, I mean, I would think that's what happened. But right now, if I resolve them both at the same time, then Pakistan's going to be at good. So the funding's going to go +2, +2. Where I resolve the first one, and then this becomes fair, then the second one's only going to get a +1. I'm guessing that they're done individually. I'm pretty sure they are. Okay, I'm at 44 minutes. I'm just going to leave it there and start putting these parts together. Yeah, and we're just coming to the end of the turn here as well. So, yeah. Okay, I'll be back when I can the next part. Okay, cheers.